Jason Spangler, the SanteeSwapper. I have a really small box here, but if the folks sent me everything that was in the pictures they shared, you know, great things come in small packages, or whatever the saying is. So this one's kind of interesting. Sometimes I do get contacted by people that just randomly find stuff, and no story I can share is more true than this one. I spoke to the lady on the phone. It turned out that they're from Oklahoma, so this came from Oklahoma. They were going to they were moving into a house, but it was kind of like a farmhouse that had some property, and there was a shed on the property. And she was explaining to me that they're hoping to maybe do a rent to own kind of deal with the owner and maybe stay there, permanently, but that the shed had been sort of burglarized. She described how people had gotten stripped out the copper and the metals and things like that. But her and her boyfriend were going through the shed, and lo and behold, they found a trunk of Boy Scout stuff. And lucky me, they found me, and we made a deal. This was one of those that, sometimes when I'm talking to people over the internet, there can be like, they'll send me a message and I'll send them a message, and then like I don't hear anything for a couple of days, and it sort of got awkward in negotiations sometimes. And honestly, sometimes when I'm talking to people who were not scouts, but they were more pickers or people that ran across stuff, I get a little more nervous and worried, because I know that if I'm dealing with scouts, generally speaking, everybody's going to be trustworthy, loyal, helpful. You get the thing there. But outside of that, it's a little dicey. And so I just got this box in, and sometimes I'll set these boxes over and just let them sit for a while I'm busy doing other things. But I really wanted to open this box because part of me is like, ooh, I hope they really sent me everything that they were supposed to. Remember, trustworthy. I want to make sure they're being trustworthy. So anyways, this is a cool collection. Let me show it to you. And I'm just so excited that, you can think about collections that, were kind of abandoned. I mean, there's no telling how long this stuff had sat in a trunk. But thankfully, it was really, really well protected. Okay, they did send me the stuff I was hoping for. So I'm going to put this to the side. But so it looks like this guy was a scout in Austin, Texas. And and again, when I say guy, I mean the person who left his stuff behind. Membership cards here, which I can open up and see. What really got me excited about this collection was this guy had kept everything from the 35 Jamboree that he was supposed to have attended. The letters, the paper, like everything. Well, let me show you guys, right? Okay, so here, literally, a little calendar piece. I don't have this blown up. Here's more of his cards. He was in Troop 2 in Austin, Texas, and 1934, 1933, 1932, all kinds of good stuff. He got his Eagle on the 16th of January in 1934. Got the card. That's so cool. So, and this is what I'm saying. The paperwork in a collection that was left in a shed in Oklahoma, the paperwork is just so pristine condition. I don't know how it was stored, but however it was stored, I'm just so thankful that it was taken care of. All right, little letter. Now, some of you who watch my channel know that I'm not like real big on paperwork. I don't love paperwork, but when it's a letter like this, you get a little more excited. You might have heard of this one before. We're in the receipt to Scouts and Scouters of the Jamboree Troop, dated August 12th, 1935. So after the Jamboree had been canceled, this is a follow-up letter. We are in receipt of additional Jamboree information which indicates the following definite decisions. The National Jamboree is canceled, and the Home Office in New York has no plan to offer as an adequate substitute on a national basis. So far, there is no mention made of a National Jamboree next year. The regional executives have been given leadership and approval to plans within their own regions. Mr. Fitch has promised to have in your hands Tuesday morning any definitive suggestions he may have as to what local councils can or should do in the matter, providing substitute trips, excursion camps, etc. The Capital Area Council is awaiting suggestions from the regional office before considering any substitute trips, etc. The $25 National Jamboree registration fee will be refunded in due course of time after insurance settlements are made, as the national office carried insurance to cover this emergency. Uniforms, badges, and equipment purchased for the Jamboree, but not actually worn, may be returned. I wonder how many people return their stuff. Obviously, this does not include garments upon which there's any sewed insignia. And it says here, President Roosevelt will address the Scouts and Scouters Wednesday evening, August 21st, 8:45 Eastern Time from the White House. This is 7:45. So this is from the Scout Executive of the Capital Area Council, Noel Umstead. All right, a couple of other things from that 35 Jamboree. These are literally like stickers, but those are really, really cool. And then here's another really nice letter. So this one's dated July 30th, 1935. And this one is acknowledging that this scout, I won't read the whole thing, but just to kind of give you the lay of the land, it's my pleasure to inform you on behalf of the National Jamboree Committee and the Boy Scouts of America, you've met all the prescribed conditions and hereby duly enrolled as a member of the contingent from your council to the forthcoming National Jamboree in the city of Washington, August 21st to the 30th. So this is from the home office in New York, 2nd Park Avenue, James E. West signature, although I'm sure that's sort of like a stampy thing. But again, this letter found in a freaking barn in Oklahoma is in like perfect condition. And look at that. Wax paper. I mean, 35 Jamboree patches, which I know 35 Jamboree patches are not like unbelievable, but dude, I'm like pulling them out of the wax paper for maybe the first time in like, since World War II or something. I mean, they're perfect. They're perfect. I don't know that they've ever been handled. That's freaking amazing. That's amazing. Then other cool paperwork. Right here, this is the pre-Jamboree camp training manual. I can tell you I've never seen that before. National Jamboree, Washington, D.C. This is some sort of a booklet here. Got the map of D.C. and stuff. I've never seen that before. Tentative National Jamboree Program. 1935 Series Bulletin. Jamboree Information Supplement. Earning money for the Jamboree, 1935, on to Washington, D.C. How is your $25 being invested? I mean, it's like, I've never seen this paperwork before, and this one collection has everything. So you can imagine what is going through my head. I'm going to put together a really nice frame with all this stuff from 1935 Jamboree, and this guy's cards and stuff, and I can sort of tell the story to scouts about how they lived through a pandemic. They had their scout camp canceled. They had a National Jamboree canceled. They had a NOAC canceled. This scout lived through that as well in 35 and wasn't able to go to the very first National Jamboree, which you all know was postponed to 1937. Okay, if the collection was just this, wow, that's super cool. But I've been sneaky and held this one off to the side. So, take a look at this. A beautiful 1930s merit badge sash with star, life, and eagle, and lots of merit badges. A beautiful sash that goes with all the cards, that goes with the stuff from the Jamboree, and then has some great things here like aviation merit badge. That's a great merit badge. Interestingly, the mechanical drawing is upside down, a couple of those. And at the bottom, you can see the turnover. This is kind of a great story as well if you're telling this story. You have the square merit badges, which are like pre-32 in that area. And then you have the wide crimp, which come after that. And so right here on the bottom, the last 4 merit badges this scout earned and sewed on the merit badge are wide crimped, which were only around for a couple of years until it bridged to the next generation. So to me, this is a super cool sash. I love that it goes all together with everything else. I paid a pretty decent price for this collection because I didn't want them sniffing around and selling it to someone else, but I'm real happy that I got it. Interestingly enough, the girlfriend that I spoke to on the phone, she said that there's more stuff in the collection, in the trunk, and that they're sort of trying to catalog that, and maybe the boyfriend wants to sell that stuff on eBay. I don't know. But I'm so glad that whatever they do going forward, I was able to get this little piece of history for my collection. So Jason Spangler, the SanteeSwapper, thank you very much for supporting me through my website and everything else. I do appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed this unboxing.